So let's talk about user feedback. Obviously, that's something that's like gold to any organization that is customer centric, of course. With your community management model, I imagine that you probably got more opportunities to garner feedback than maybe a traditional legacy model would have. But I have to ask, how do you manage feedback from the community or from users or other members who are subscribers and not members of the community, let's say? How do you sort of garner feedback?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there are various ways of gathering feedback from the community, depending on the project that you're working on and also the intent. So, of course, you'll have proactive or reactive feedback. So, if we are working on a project and if we really need to get a sense check from the community in a particular topic or on a particular question, we do go out to them, we put a thread out, and we invite them to share their thoughts and their opinions with us. And they're always more than happy to. And we always find that they have a very different perspective than ours, which is why we always go and sense check with them. But there's also a lot of opportunity for us to gather proactive feedback. So things that they will say, they will flag to us that we potentially wouldn't have known about. So to make sure we manage this properly, we created an area on our community that is specifically dedicated to this type of feedback, and we've sectioned it to make it a lot easier for members to know how to share their feedback and where to share their feedback. And this works because if we create that area, it will have a purpose and intent, so it makes it easier for members to share their thoughts. But there's also a lot of opportunity for us to gather feedback just from the announcements that we post on the community, because we do tend to share a lot with our members. And that goes both ways, because we have our helpers in our community, so we want to make sure that they have all the knowledge that they need to be able to help others, but it also gives us a chance to put something in front of our most engaged audience and see how they react and their first thoughts. So usually when we post an announcement about a new feature or a change or a new promotion, it's not uncommon for members to come in and either ask clarifying questions, which will then tell us, oh, we need to refine how we position this in this way, or there will be suggestions of how we can make it better. Some of them might go and test it firsthand, so we get yet another sense check of that feature working right or not working as smoothly as we thought before. So there's a lot of feedback, and even just from general discussions, because if you have a community and you foster that sense of community and bonding in between members, you get to have a sneak peek into their conversations because they happen on your platform. So the members will start discussing different features, different products on your community, and you literally get to be an outsider looking into the conversation, which you wouldn't otherwise have access to, because let's say it would happen on the street with a friend, right? But now you have access because you've created that environment on your community, and that gives you a 360 perspective of how members see your products and services.
Once you've got some feedback, what happens then? What do you do with it?
Well, if it's something that the teams requested, it's actually fairly easy because they'll be very interested in it. So they'll be bugging us quite a bit. And we can do that by either setting up a meeting with them, or sometimes they will already be on the community reading the thread anyway, because they can do that. And if it's something that we've picked up from the community without having asked for it, we usually do that by regularly monitoring that area of our community. And when we spot a bug or a piece of feedback or a suggestion, one of our educators will pick it up and then we'll fire off an email to the relevant team. Now, depending on, so if it's a bug, obviously we'll be a little bit more on the team to get feedback. Is this happening for everyone? When are they planning on fixing it? Because we want to maintain that two-way relationship with the community and want to make sure that we encourage them to do that and to flag things like that more often. So it's important that we have that closing of the feedback loop. So we will chat to them and chase up to get resolution times and things like that. If it's something a little bit like a suggestion, which obviously we'll not have a time frame, and we'll always have a bit of a discussion around it, whether it's something that's feasible, whether it's something that we already thought about and they already have some suggestions and maybe has been dismissed. Then we get an idea and we phrase a response for the community members to bring them into our behind the scenes a little bit and get them a flavor of what's happening.